Okay. So in the last class, we discussed about one branching model. This is the one. Okay. So we have master, right? From master, we create a new branch called day123, right? Developers commit the code to day123, and then we lock the branch, and then we merge the code to the master, and from master, we create a new branch that is 1.2.4. And then we do thorough testing, and then we release the code from 123 to 123 branch to the customers. So this is what we discussed in the last class. If you still have any questions, you can go through the last session. Okay. So today I'm going to explain.
Sorry, Nagesh, I had a couple of questions here.
Okay. So yeah, Ritesh.
So you mentioned that we commit the code to both 1.2.3 and 1.2.4 branches, right? If any hotfix is needed, correct? Now, if we commit that hotfix to 1.2.4, how does it propagate to all the individual developers? Because they would have already done a checkout from the branch into the local machines, right? And then they will be working on it. How do they get notified? Is there a push mechanism, or people have to go ahead and again um, do a pull from the branch? How does that work?
There is no push mechanism in Git. So developers have to pull the code. Developers have to pull the fix. So they run a command called git pull. So if they run pull, so they get the latest code.
So they will have to be notified, right, that a change has been made to the branch and they need to pull it again, right?
Not required, not required. So people know usually. Say for example, this developer is working on that. This is the developer's laptop. So for example, he has some code, right? If he has some issue, if you're really facing that issue, that means that bug matters to this developer. In that case, so they know, because there will be a lot of internal communication, right? So once the bug is fixed, these people get the notification from the bug tracking tool, not from the Git. First thing, right? Or most of these people will be attending Scrum meetings and things like that, so they know. So if the developer is facing the issue because of that, facing some issue because of the a bug, for example, so they will internally communicate, and then they will pull the code. One thing. For example, there is another developer, right? So this bug doesn't matter to this particular person. So what will happen now? Whenever this guy pushes the code, right, to the 123 branch, since there is a latest code, Git will ask this guy to pull it. So this guy will pull the code, and then that bug fix will be synced to the developer's code. It will be merged, and then this guy will push. So but in this case, your main question is, how do people know that there is a bug fix? Correct. So a lot of things. So they get communication through bug tracking tools, Scrum meetings, or developers. Very frequently they will be pulling the new code. So that's the best practice people follow. So that's what they get to know that there is a change.
Okay. And another question was, so we did 1.2.3, that's been released. 1.2.4 is also released, and the developers are working on 1.2.5. Now, if something is identified in production which is related to what was released in 1.2.3 as part of that, right?
1 second. So 1.2.4 is also released.
Yeah.
Right. And this is merged to the master. And for master, we have the dev125 now.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, if some production issue is found which is related to what was released in 1.2.3, what feature was released as part of that, how does that hotfix work here? I mean, where do you merge it or commit it?
Two scenarios here again, right? Say if you have two customers, for example, you have two customers. So you mean to say that this guy is still on 123? Is that your assumption?
No.
So one person still has 123, one person has 124. Is that the
No.
assumption? No.
No, everybody is on 124. For some reason, that feature, that bug was identified as now after 1.2.4
That means
release is done.
that means you identify the bug in 1 to 4 only, correct? Because 1 to 3 code is
Yes,
with 1 to 4.
correct.
Hmm.
But it was a feature that was released as part of 1.2.3.
Mm-hmm.
So there was nothing, the code was not touched in 1.2.4, but that issue has come now,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So where does that commit go, or how does that hotfix get handled here?
No, see, 1.2.3, 1 to once 1 to 4 is released, then see 1 to 4 is incremental code of incremental code on top of 1 to 3, correct? So
Correct.
1 to you said there is a feature in 1 to 3. Same feature is available in 1 to 4, and then they
Correct.
issue in the 1 to 4 now, correct? And 1
Yeah.
to 5 is also there. So, and we release the code from 1 to 4 branch to the customers, right? So when there is a
Yeah.
mission 1 to 4, we push that particular commit, the bug fix to 1 to 4, then we release the code to the customers. This is what we do.
Okay.
So because 1 to 4 is the incremental code of 1 to 3, correct? So we don't need to. So since like we have this one bug fix, this will act as a bug fix branch, and this will act as an ongoing branch. In that case, 1 2 3 will completely forget.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions, guys? That's a good question from Ritesh. Any other questions you have about this branching model? Okay. See, if you go to another company, for example, this is how they manage their develop their releases and then bug fixes and stuff like that. So in this project, you have master. Okay, this is your master. That is default branch. Master or default is the main. So as usual, what will happen? They have one branch under master. This time they just call it as dev branch. See, there is no release name here, like the first branching model, right? It's just a dev branch. Assume. Then assume that development teams want to start working on 1 2 3 release. What do? They commit their code to dev branch. This is 1 2 3 code. Remember, this is 1.2.3 code. Again, as usual, what happens? Once 1 2 3 development is done, they log this branch temporarily. Okay. So once branch is logged, what do? They merge that code back to the master. So whatever code commits you have related to 1 to 3, everything is pushed to the master, correct? That means both branches are equal now. Okay. And then see what they are doing. From master, they create another branch. They call it as a release branch. Release R underscore. Okay. Release underscore 1.2.3 branch. Something like this. So what happened just now? So 1 2 3 code is moved to the master. From master, again, when you create a new branch, what happens? Same 1 2 3 code comes here, correct? Right. So you have 1 2 3 code separated here. And then, as usual, you will impose that branch lock here, because the development is done, right? So you will impose that branch lock, and then code is freezed. And if there are any, and there's a thorough testing. And from release branch, they release the code to the customers. And now they call it a 1.2.3 release. Same thing. If there are any issues here, it will go through the approval process, and then they will unlock the branch only for the developer, whoever is working on that particular branch. So you lock the branch, right? Dev branch. Then you merge the code, right? The moment you merge the code to the master, you will unlock it. You will unlock it. And then people will start working on 1.2.4 release here. Again, same thing continues. 1 to 4, again you lock the branch, merge it to the master, and then release 1 to 4. And then release the code from release branches. Say, for example, right, you release the code to the production, okay, and people are committing their code to dev branch now, okay. 1 to 4 release code is going into this particular dev branch now. Assume that, let's take the same scenario. There is some issue in 1 2 3. What developers will do now? Developers will commit that bug fix to 1 2 3. Very simple. When there is a bug, just a thumb rule, remember, from wherever you release the code, commit to that particular branch. Again, it's not a thumb rule, but that's what we do mostly, okay. And then bug fix is released to the customers. Again, there is a bug in 1 2 3 means there is a bug mostly in 1 to 4 also, right? So again, do the double commit. So you can also handle your releases, bug fixes using this branching model. So I feel personally this is clearer than the first branching model, because see here, there is no confusion. Okay, so developer is working on some bug, or new feature, means mostly they can commit to dev branch. That means any code, so they don't need to worry whether it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4 up. So they can by default just commit their code to dev branch. And once the release code is matured, right? That means once it is stabilized, then DevOps engineer will anyway will separate that. That means they'll merge it to the master, and then they will separate it to separate that code into another branch. And here you have a name, right? Release 1, 2, 3 means okay, this code is ready for the release, ready to go to the customer. This is like, since the branch names are clear, right? So maybe you may prefer this, okay? Or personally, I feel that this is better than the first approach. Or I have seen people using this approach also widely, this approach also. See, whatever scenarios we faced when we discussed here, use cases, same thing is possible using this branching model also. Same thing can be handled using this branching model also, right? So this is the another way using which you can handle the release code. Any questions about this branching model? Okay, see this. For example, there is something called feature branching model. Okay, say in some companies they work like this. There is a master branch, okay, some code. Assume that they are working on, they're developing on, they're developing 5 new features. One. So for example, we have a master, okay. They are working on, say, 5 new features. You know what do they do? They create 5 new branches. There is some code, say, for example, okay, 10,000 files. They'll just create 5 branches, 2, 3, 4, 5. They call it the feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, 4, and then 5. So you have some code, right? Same code is copied 5 times in 5 branches, correct? Say people, say for example, 5 people, whoever is working on feature 1, they'll commit the code to feature 1. Some other team, they're working on feature 2, they commit. Say for example, people who are working on, 10 people are working on feature 5, they commit the code to this particular branch. Assume that feature 2 development is complete. This is ready. This code is ready, tested. You know what they do? Feature 2 branch will be merged to the master. So you got feature 2 code here. And then you release it to the customers. Feature 2. Again, say for example, in the meantime, feature 5 people are ready. Okay. It will be merged to the master. From master, you release feature 5 to the customer. Again, feature 1 is ready, merge it to the master, then release it. So in some companies, they also create multiple branches. One branch for one feature, and then they merge the feature code to the master once the development is done, and then they will release it. So this is another branching model. Correct? So likewise, you can have you can create any branching model which works for you. There is nothing like this is better than the first second one is better than the first, and things like that. No. So whatever works for you, that is good to you. So otherwise, sometimes in interviews are real time, people have technical debates saying, okay, this branch is better than the one, and things like that. So don't get into all the stuff. Whatever works for you, that is better for you. That means it's endless. Okay, so there's no rule that you have to follow one branching model, right? Different companies follow different branches. For example, say this, you have master, right? There is only one branch, that is a dev underscore 1 or 2 or 3 branch, for example. There is a development team, right? So team has 30 developers. Then the manager calls all these team members, college team members, ask them, So we need to work on improving search functionality in this release. That should be the main focus. That is the main focus for this release. So manager asks for the opinion. Okay, which algorithm we should use to implement the search feature? 10 people say breadth first algorithm works better. 10 people say DFS, depth first search algorithm works better. 10 people say we need to follow the binary search. Something, okay, some technique, some algorithm or some technique. Now the manager is confused. Right? You cannot have all three techniques in one branch, right? So end of the day, you have to have one technique. You cannot have you cannot give one experience to one users and other experience to other user. No, such should work similar to all users, right? So manager is confused now, right? So just by having the technical debate, right, you cannot come to the conclusion saying, okay, this is better than this or whatever. Correct? Very difficult, right? So manager comes to you. Hello, DevOps unit. I have 30 members, right? And we have three different opinions, three different approaches. Okay. Can you accommodate my developers code? And this is the plan. So manager says, so you accommodate my team's code separately, and we will do the testing, right? And whatever works after testing, then we will finalize it as a final code. So you can say this is master, right? This is 1, 2, 3, correct? 1, 2, 3 code is here. Now, this end of the day, this is where you need to, you are developing, this is where you have to commit your 1, 2, 3 code, correct? End of the day, right? So what you can do, see, to solve this particular problem, we can create sub branches into 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, correct? So this is for BFS, this is for DFS, this is for binary search. These people will commit the code to this branch, this branch, this branch. Assume that DFS, once the development is complete, you tested the code, BFS, DFS, and BS. Assume that DFS, depth first search algorithm, is giving you better result. What you can do? Merge it to 1, 2, 3, and then you can probably delete or you can just leave these branches. So end of the day, see, you have the code in 1, 2, 3. So very simple. Whenever you want to experiment with something, just take a copy of it. Take a copy of it, and you can create any copies, right? Take a copy of it, take a diverge, take a copy of it, go develop, commit, test. If it works, merge the code back. Otherwise, leave that. So whenever you are working on new release, whenever you are working on new approach, just create a new branch, right? And then do your work there and then test it and then merge it back. So that's a branching concept. So strategy can be anything, okay? But mostly people use this one, and then the first one, and this one in the real time. So in interview, you pick any one branching model, okay? Say they'll ask, can you explain the branching model strategy that you're following in your project? Just pick this, for example, and then just explain. We have master, that master we have a dev branch. So assume that we are working for 1, 2, 3 release, right? We commit the code to 1 to this particular dev branch. Once code is matured, stabilized, we merge it to the master. From master, we create a release branch, and then from release branch, we release the code. And once the merge is complete, then we unlock this dev branch, and then 1 to 4 code goes here. If there are any issues in 1, 2, 3, right, we commit that release branch, and then bug fix releases will happen from the release branch, and this process continues. So just explain one branching model. And in the middle, like how you are asking me the questions, right? So they will ask you some cross questions, right? And then you should be able to answer them. You will be able to, because I explained, 4 branching models, right? With this, I think you should be able to handle your cross questions if you understand, these concepts very well. Clear with the branching model? Any questions you have about this topic?
Sir, I have one. It's Rajat here. So, sir, like for the first model that you update over there, we are bug fixing the the one we are changing or already saved or already. checked all those things. But in the second one, it's sometime it depend on the client or the customers, right? Sometimes they are telling this is better, and later part they will change. This is not the good one. You can go with the older one or some other one. So in that case, if we prefer the second method, okay, then it will be create issue, right? So to merge and delete and those stuff.
You mean to say, you're following the first branching model and then you want to shift to the second branching model in that case, correct?
Uh, just ignore the first one. We'll go with the second one only. Okay.
Okay.
So in the second one, let you are having that BFS or DFS you selected, and you already started working on that, and almost it was done and saved. And later part, somebody again tell and no, it was not fine. We'll change it to BFC or BFS, and then what will be the scenario it will occur?
You mean to say you're switching from this second model to the third model, this one?
No, yeah, the third model.
This one,
Okay,
right?
like in the
BF.
beginning, you will selected the DFS. Okay, already you worked on it, already saved in the
No.
master.
1 second. Let me correct the question, Rajat. 1 second. Let me understand the question properly. So you're following this branching model. Is that your assumption? This one currently?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In
Okay. Now, next.
this, only we are bug fixing the uh, the selected options, right? The selected version like 1.2.3. Okay, so there is no any issue. We'll go with that same branch and we can change it. So there is not much. We're just bug fixing that. Okay. In case if it is required for totally change that particular model or the particular branch, so in that case, what we will do?
Very simple. In that case, say when you're following this branching model, right? Say you have a release, master, and a dev branch, correct? So make sure that these branches are collapsed to the master. Okay, that means you have to you have some extra work here, bring it to the master. You have some extra code, bring it to the master. Okay, so since you merge the code from 1, 2, 3 to the master, this is not required. You can ignore that. This code is also brought back to the master, so you can just ignore it. So now you have code in the master, right? Now you have code in the master, right? Now you can do anything. So this is the master, right? Now you can create dev 1, 2, 3, BFS, and everything. So now you can create the new branches, however you want. So usually,
Okay.
if you have any pending changes which are not merged, we have to merge all those changes to the master, and then from master you create however you want. That's what we do usually.
Okay.
And it's a simple one, and it's not very difficult.
Okay. So because the changes will be done lot of times, right? Like I'll already change. If we go to the third model, if you can show me that slide, the third one. So here, let I changes. The first we selected this DFS, okay, and do some changes and save it in the master. The later part, there is some mind change, and we have to go back to the BFS. So, what will be the scenario, or what we will
This
do
is
with
not
the
what
same
I
thing?
this is not what I explained. So here the scenario was we have master. Okay. Now development team wants to work on such. Okay. So they conducted a meeting, say for example today. 10 people are telling we have to follow this technique and then develop this such feature. That's their opinion. 10 people say this technique, this algorithm works better. So there are 3 different opinions to develop the same search feature. Right? It's happening, that's a the discussion. So until and unless we develop and then test the code, we cannot decide, right, whether this works or this works. In that case, in this particular context, right, we create 3 branches together at a time. 1, 2, 3. That means you have some code. It is like this. Okay, we have some existing code. You take the copy, you take the copy, you take the copy, do whatever you want. Let's meet after 2 months. That is the thing. And then we create 3 branches. And after 2 months, we analyze the test. We do the testing and then we analyze the performance stats and things like that. And we find DFS works better. In that case, what do? We have to bring that DFS code to the 1, 2, 3 branch. We merge. And then, so whatever work you have done, that comes to 1, 2, 3. This is the context here. Now questions. Rajat.
So it was already added in the branch, okay? Or it was everything was done and it
Now DFS code is merged to the day 1 to 3.
okay, yeah. So then it was somewhere it was okay, everybody is agree, and it was saved in the master also. But later part, maybe the client or maybe
Yeah,
somebody is again asked to change it.
Yeah, this is merged to the master also. Okay, fine. Now later find.
Yeah. So after saving it to the master, okay, then later, like after a few days, then again it was they informed to like do some changes or no, we didn't need this DFS, we need the VFS. Then what the scenario will be?
Okay, say for in that case, right? In that case, you can revert this change, this particular merging code. If it's immediate, you can revert it. For example, you brought this DFS code to the 1 to 3, right? Right, you have some change here. You can revert that. You know how to revert the commit, right? We have reverted. So for branch also, sorry, for merging also there will be one commit. For merging also there will be one commit. Just run git revert and then that merge ID. So that code will be it will be hidden automatically. And then you bring BFS code. Okay, one thing. Say for example, you merge DFS code to 1 to 3, right? And you realize that DFS this one is the better one after say 1 month, say for example. In that case, right? You just develop that here, and then say for example, to fix this particular say DFS to develop that search functionality using DFS, you modify the 30 files, say for example. Okay, this is the DFS code, right? So what developers do in that case, they know, right, in which files they have to change the technique. So they go and then modify these 30 files here in BFS, and then we do the merge. They know so where this search code is located, so they will go to all those Java files, for example, all those lines, and then they remove the old code and then they bring the new one. That's what we do usually.
Okay.
Or even you realize that this is not needed, say after 1 month, for example, after 1 month, if there are any new changes, if there are no new changes after this DFS, then you can just revert that commit. That means you can revert the commit, you can delete the commit also. Revert is a better option. That is very rare scenario. It's a corner case.
Yeah, that's the reason we are in the beginning only we are tested for 3, which one is better, we select that, and then we can.
Correct, you're right. Okay. Go ahead, if you have any follow-up.
No, that's fine. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Right. So that's a the thorough discussion about the branches. What is branch? Why branch? When you create a new branch, right? And the different branching strategies that we follow in real time. So if you go to Google, or say Git official website and things like that, you will find a lot of other branching models, but those are like theory kind of things. So whatever I explained is real time scenarios. So in real time, these are the branching models we use. Okay. Right. And you know how to create the branch, how to switch from one branch to another branch and things like that. So next topic is merging. I have to forcefully stop the class now. I have some important work. I'll take this merging concept in tomorrow's class. Is that fine, everybody?
Yes, sir.
But again, even if I start now, we cannot finish this topic today. So better I'll take it tomorrow. And tomorrow mostly we'll be completing it. And okay, not tomorrow. Another 2 classes will be completing it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good night.